Welcome to this video where I'll talk about miscellaneous vocabulary used in the construction industry. You might come across the abbreviation of FFL, which stands for Finish Floor Level. So it is the very top surface of any layers on the floor. And SSL is a structural slab level. So it is the top surface of normally the concrete slab. So then on top of it, you have various insulation layers and then the finish floor surface. TOS stands for top of steel. So if someone says that the TOS is flush or top of steel is flush, it means that all the steel work at the same level needs to have the top surfaces flush regardless of how deep the beams are. BOS stands for bottom of steel. And again, if someone says that the bottom of steels needs to be flush, then regardless of how deep the beams are, the bottom needs to be in the same surface. A ceiling is obviously a ceiling, and you'll come across probably two different types. One is polystyrene and the second one is a plaster ceiling. A lintel is a constructional item that sort of spreads between two different walls over a gap. So here is obviously shown an ancient lintel, but nowadays we have either steel lintels or concrete lintels, and they are used to bridge the gap above any door or even a larger opening. A Catnic Lintel is a lintel made by a company called Catnic. They specialize in various shapes and forms, but normally they're cold rolled, so made out of quite thin steel sheet, rolled into these different shapes to support the bricks and blocks above it. A bay window is a window that sticks out of the building. It's very common for both Edwardian and Victorian houses. A skylight is a window that allows the sky to go through into your room, and they are quite often used for flat roofs like shown here on the photo, but then also on the left hand side you can see some skylights in the side of a pitched roof, and because the largest manufacturer is Velux, some people refer to as these skylights basically by saying it is a Velux, and everyone understands that this is actually a skylight made by Velux. When it comes to the roof, there are a few words, but pitch is probably the most important one. It is the degree at which the roof needs to be done. It can be referred to as the slope as well, and then the rise is the total height between the bottom of the roof and the top, which is called the ridge. Timber is basically wood, but then if you see anything like here C16 or C24, it is basically different grades of timber. A joist is normally a timber joist, and it comes in different shapes and sizes, and it is used to support a new floor. Hangers are used to hang cross members of timber joists, and it is a much easier way to attach perpendicular joists instead of playing around with screws coming at an angle or maybe building up smaller side plates to fix it. You basically first install the hanger and then simply slide in the timber joist. Floorboard is obviously put on top of timber joist, and that is what is used to basically walk on. A trimmer is part of the timber, and it could be a doubled up timber joist or even trebled up, and it basically is reinforced so that it can support the edge of a timber surface. Rafters are timber joists put at an angle, and they form the structure of the roof. You might come across abbreviation of C/C or CRS, and that basically means that this is the distance from center to center. So if there is a timber floor with timber joists and it's 400 millimeter CC, that means that each timber joist needs to be 400 millimeters from center to center. For steelwork, you would normally refer to CL, which is basically the center line. A landing is a small platform, normally somewhere in the middle of a staircase, and basically it means that you can land there and then the stairs can turn one way or the other. And a stringer is a structural component of any staircase. It is normally made out of steel and it allows the treads to be connected to the stringer. A void is a gap. So like here, we could say that the gap under the stairs and between the wall is a void. Quite often a void is useless because there's no access or it is quite difficult to gain access. A fascia is the side of a roof. It is normally plastic, but it also could be in timber. And a soffit is the bottom side of the roof. So it basically covers the timber rafters from the bottom. And a gutter is obviously to take the water from the roof. And the ridge, similar to mountains, it is the top of where the two angled surfaces meet. So the ridge is normally the highest line of a roof. Thank you very much. If you'd like to connect and watch future videos, then please sign up to one of our platforms. Thank you.